light breaking, we are taking, this is our time. Just breathe, this won't be a hard fight. The truth cash shows in the night.
What's up, everybody? It is Rick. Johnny is backstage. Give me one moment. He's talking to our guest, and I will bring Johnny on. And here's Johnny.
Technically, I was sitting backstage talking to myself because I didn't realize I was still backstage. So, always the constant professional. How's everybody doing? Doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good for what, the way life is going right now. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. How's work?
quick. It's going, but it is going to be ending fairly soon. So, I think.
So they made the call, huh?
Well, that's what it seems like. I think that's what's happening. It's a complicated situation, and I'm kind of left. I'm not in the dark, but I'm being left in the dark. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's no good, man.
yeah, but life goes on, and when God closes the door, He opens up another one, and I just pray heavy on it, and hopefully that things work out. And I find something. I might get out of this field altogether. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been doing it for a long, long time, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I would imagine your schedule's pretty rough too. This maybe end up being a really good thing for you, and I will definitely pray that it is a good thing for you.
It may. Like I said, I have faith, and I think things might be tough for a little bit, but I think things will hopefully get better quickly and get to some normalcy back to my life and stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to affect our schedule as far as doing a podcast. Am I getting a day job? Will I get a night job? I have no idea. The world is wide open right
Yeah.
now, so we'll see what happens. But right
As
now,
much as
I'm focused on the present. So
yeah. Well, this platform will always be here, and we will always come up. There's plenty of hours during the day. We'll get it figured out. We'll
well, I mean, it's a great thing
get you
about
settled
podcasts.
first.
They're very flexible. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Very flexible.
Yeah.
So, hey, Sunshine. We got Angie Williamson in the house. What a sweetheart. We got
Oh yeah.
Sunshine. Yeah, I miss Sunshine. I don't see her as much. She's a busy person in the corporate world, so it's hard to keep in touch with her.
Not
Um,
really. Yeah, we got Angie is the reason why we have this podcast guest this evening, and it is actually his first time telling his story on a podcast. So we are very lucky with that. And Angie, thank you very much for hooking us up. It's actually his it's Angie's cousin's husband who had this Class A sighting, and it's a really good one, and I'm super excited. I know I got some things I want to talk about that happened around here, but we'll wait till the
yeah,
end. I mean, I got some
we will do
really,
it.
yeah, we'll go into it after we interview him because I don't want to
Yeah,
keep him waiting long. It's Friday night, and he's a hard working man, so let's bring him on so he can get back to his family.
Roger that. So everybody, let me introduce you guys to Lee. Hey, what's up, Lee?
What's going on, everybody?
This is your first time
And
on the
there's,
podcast, man.
Yeah, a little nervous, but I'm all right. I'll pull through. So,
you'll be all right.
oh yeah.
Hey, trust me, if him and I can pull this off, you're good to go. You're fine. You will be fine.
Yeah.
Uh, so tell us a little bit about yourself there, Lee.
So my name is Lee Sistrunk, and I was a product of the '70s wildfires. And anyway, born and raised normal home. Now, beautiful wife and children are grown. I work for a Class 1 railroad, so that's what I do for a living out here in East Texas. and do track inspection right now. Just got a promotion at work. Actually, I'll be operating drones, so that's going to be a
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
fun,
Yeah,
challenging
it is.
experience, but it'll be fun. So
Are they going to send you for, you got to go take classes? You got to get a
yes,
drone pilot
I actually that's what
license.
I'm doing now. I'm studying to test for my that Part 107 test for the
Right.
unmanned
Dude, you and I,
aviation.
we need to talk after this because
Okay,
I've been looking, that is something that I've actually been looking into getting into is
okay,
drone, piloting drones. Dude, I would
yeah,
love to know some more about that.
okay. And let's see, that's really. Other than that, we got me and my wife. We got ministry we do on the side. Um, we're attached to a ministry that does a lot of outreach in Pakistan. We got a
Really?
recently got a sir.
I said, really?
Yeah,
Pakistan.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Pakistan, India, and then I recently interviewed a ministry over there in the Gaza Strip right now. So we're talking with them. So
Wow,
Well,
that's awesome.
pretty
that's
much
pretty
it, man.
amazing work, man.
That's yeah, that's about it. So
Well, let's walk us into what happened. Tell us first of all what year and month, if you can remember all that good stuff. Just bring us into that day.
I thought I had the actual date wrote down when it happened. Uh, I actually couldn't find it. It's around here somewhere. But it was late April, early May of last year, 2024. And we had a storm come through. Can y'all hear me pretty good? Am I talking?
Yeah.
Talking. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
if you talk as loud as you want would be good.
okay. Um, Storm had come through. It was a pretty rough storm. We had some wind gusts of about 30 to 40 miles an hour. Actually, I had forgot about this. We actually had a tornado touch down. That was one of the reasons why we had such profound damage down our track as far as the tree damage, because it was actually a tornado had touched down, and that was somewhere around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I got a phone call around 3:30. They needed me to fill in for the track inspection. The other track inspector was off. And basically, what we would do is sit on track and just patrol. We're watching for flooding, washouts, and then assessing the damage. And then, of course, trees. We actually, what one of the reasons for the call out was we had a coal train that had got stopped. And coal trains, I know a lot of people don't know a whole lot about how our transportation works, but coal trains for us, if one of them shuts down, that'd be the equivalent of shutting the port down for oil coming in, just to kind of put it in perspective. So I got out, sat on the tracks. This was probably, I don't know, 4:15, 4:20. And I was going south actually from a town called Center, Texas. And just high railing south, cleared trees. Had been doing that for a while. And around 5:20, I want to say in the evening, I had come to a spot in between a town called Pineland, Texas, and just north of it, a little kind of an unincorporated community called Bronson, Texas. And this has always been a hot spot for us as far as like every time the wind just blows wrong. It can only blow 5 miles an hour. We're going to be out there. You could bet every time we're going to be out there cutting trees. And anyway, I had stopped. There was quite a few. I want to say there was somewhere in the vicinity of 50 to 60 trees, and they weren't
Mm.
huge. Some of them were saplings, but then some of them were probably 12 to 15 inches in diameter. And so I got out the truck and grabbed my chainsaw and just went to clearing trees. And I'd probably say about 10 minutes in, 10 to 15 minutes into clearing trees, um, I had felt this weird feeling like something was watching me. Now, I didn't say this part of my introduction, but I do enjoy hunting and fishing, and I remember from as a kid, even on up my adult life, I've had a few times I felt like something was watching me. And after I'd look, it could be anything from a raccoon. There was a couple of times I saw a bear, and kind of reminded me of that same feeling. And I didn't really put too much thought into it when it happened. I mean, I'm in a desolate place, there's nothing around me. So I was just probably just me being a little spooked. It's been a storm and all that. And I kept clearing trees, and I made it about, I don't know, 200 foot probably in front of my truck, and there was no more trees. So what I was going to do was go ahead and head back to my truck to get ready to head south to look for more trees. And I turned around and was headed back, and I had took note of two distinct things. The first one was it was extremely quiet, and it was eerily quiet. It's the only way I know how to say. I do remember in and out of the truck cutting trees before I got to this particular spot. I know that the frogs were loud, the crickets and all of that, just your evening bugs and evening critters at that time of day, especially late spring like that. And when I had note back, it was so quiet. The highway's probably about 2 miles. The main highway is probably about 2 miles from where I was at, from the tracks as a crow flies. And usually you don't hear nothing out there. I could hear the traffic. It was so quiet. And I was like, man, this is really weird. This is really weird. And so I kind of started picking my pace up a little bit, and I caught a faint smell of something that was, the only way I know how to describe it is kind of like a skunk smell, but it wasn't real strong. It was real faint, but it was enough to grab my attention. And probably not long after that, probably 2 or 3 minutes, I'd made it back to the truck, and I set my chainsaw in the back and opened up the door on my driver's side, and was stepping into the truck on the side railing, and I just happened to look straight forward while I was getting ready to set in. And this creature came out of the woods would be on my right side, and our right of way through there, well, the track is about 85 to 95 feet. If you were to stand on one side or the other side of the edge of the ballast and just did a straight line. Now, as far as the incline, I'm not counting for that, just a straight line. It's probably about 85, 90 feet, and he made it over that track with very few steps. And he was only about 150 to 200 feet in front of me. He wasn't that far in front of me. And,
Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Lee, I hate to do this to you, man. We're getting some really bad interference. Are you hearing that, Richard?
I'm not hearing anything. You guys sound great and look great.
Are you muted on your end, Richard?
Me? No.
Were you muted?
No.
Huh? You weren't muted? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm just getting really bad interference on my end, maybe. But if you're not getting it, I don't know. I just want people.
You guys sound great, look great, everything's great.
All right. I guess continue on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Angie says she hears it.
She hears it too.
She's in the chat room. She hears it. I don't hear anything.
Do you have a TV or anything on around there, Lee? That you know of?
Hold on. Y'all got a minute? Give me just a second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
Sure. Hey, real quick, I want to say happy birthday to Sunshine. That is awesome.
Happy birthday, Sunshine. Thank you for joining us, as always. How old is Sunshine?
I don't know how old she is. Let's see. I want to guess. I want to say 37 or 38 years old.
Yeah, it's probably, number one, it's rude for me to ask that question. Number two, it was very rude for you to guess. I think we should have just said happy birthday, and then that should have been it. We're going to get in trouble.
Those that don't know, I know Sunshine personally. I know her. We go way back. We go way back. So, and I figure cool, she's about 10 years younger than I am.
Yeah. So she lives in Florida with you.
She'd be 40 something. Yeah, she'd be 46, 47. Huh? Yeah, she's in Florida. She's in Punta Gorda or Port Charlotte, same area. So I
Right.
can't. I think it's Port Charlotte. Yeah,
All right, Lee, you're back. Let's start over
I think where the preacher
from the
came out.
from the meat of the story where you're climbing up in the truck.
Okay. And do I sound good now?
Yeah, I'm not hearing it now.
Okay. So I was stepping on the truck on the side rail, and I was looking forward, and about 150, 200 feet in front of me, this thing walked out, and like I was saying a while ago, our right of ways in that particular spot's about 85 to 90 feet, and it didn't take him very many strides to come from my right side to my left side. He wasn't running, wasn't jogging, he wasn't. Even though I was kind of freaked out about it, there was nothing about him that was aggressive or um, intimidating or even taking note of who I was. He just looked like he was on a mission to get across the tracks, and he made it across the track and onto the other side. And there's kind of a, wouldn't say really a cliff, or it almost looked like a, it looks like a ravine embankment almost right there. It's just where they cut through for the track. And I mean, he just walked up that like it was nothing, and out of sight. And at that point, I took note of everything I'll get into in a minute as far as the description and everything. But in that moment, I was just ready to get the heck out of there. So I got the truck, shut the door, peeled out, made it to the crossing. The next crossing was probably about a half a mile up, if that. And no, actually, it wasn't that. Yeah, about a half mile or so. Anyway, I got to that crossing. I set off. I called my boss and told him he needed to. Didn't know what he was going to do, but he needed to find someone else. And I got out of there. So, but as far as this description of him, um, of all the things that I've saw since that's happened to me, I always get the brownish colors and all these things. But this one was the only way I can describe it is like a Spanish moss color, the gray that he was.
Hmm.
And it was probably 7.5 to 8 feet tall. He wasn't masculine looking, like overly gorilla ape looking, but it was a toned, thick creature. And another thing about it that I pay more attention now too is the way his arms, the way he handled his arms. It wasn't really primate. Um, Kind of just held him still actually a little bit. They may have moved a little bit, but I didn't see a lot of movement in his arms. I did see about 3/4 of his face. The way I describe his face, it was like almost like you take mud and would rub it on his face to give it kind of that ashy look. That's what he looked like, and that's it. That's what happened.
Well, having the gray colored, that's actually fairly common. We hear a lot of
Okay.
accounts that because it could be an older one. You know what I mean? He's a
Yeah.
little more senior, and he's like us. They gray and stuff like that. They probably live a pretty stressful life.
So what? Describe the face to us if you
So
don't mind.
yeah, his face. He didn't have uh, ape-looking features. I wouldn't say they were real sharp either. I know that is. As far as his eyes, I couldn't tell much about his eyes other than it was almost like they were black, and his nose was like if you like punched it or something. The only way I know how to describe it. But it wasn't an ape nose. Um, couldn't tell a whole lot about his mouth. If I had to describe that, it was almost like it was kind of like that, like he was like holding his jaws or something. Uh,
Like like his bottom jaw stuck out a little bit,
Maybe, yeah, yeah,
something
just a
like
little
that.
bit, yeah. Um, I wouldn't say it was extreme, but yes. And As far as ears or anything like that, I wasn't paying attention for none of that stuff.
Well,
But I did take note of his face, and just because I mean, it was something that was in my face I was looking at. Other than the sheer shock of what the heck did I just see, you know.
now how far away was he from you?
He was only about 150, 200 feet in front of the truck.
Right, and just completely unobstructed in the middle of the
Yeah,
daytime too.
complete. There was no there was nothing that was obstructing the view at all. This was a
It's
clear
kind
day.
of it's kind of hard to deny their existence after seeing something like that clear, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I didn't know where I really stood on stuff like that, and kind of for entertainment, hobby purposes, from time to time, I liked watching videos and stuff like that on it. But to be totally honest with you, uh, it used to be satire for me to pick on people that did stuff like this. I'm just being honest.
No,
And after that happened, man, no, it's that
Now you're
was
the satire, huh?
yeah, no, it ain't satire now.
Yeah.
So, but man, mm, I hope it don't ever happen again. But I've been told that once you see one, you're gonna see it again. So
well, that East Texas, that is a hotbed of sightings out there,
see, that's the
and
thing, man. That's what after I decided to talk about it, 'cause y'all know this, because I hear this from everybody too. It's a lot of people do have a hard time talking about it because you don't want people to think you're crazy cuckoo. You've got like for me, I got a good reputation at work, and shoot, man, I can't tell nobody about this at work. But after I started looking into it, talking to different people, we got a neighbor down the road that's had an experience. Like, I was shocked at just how profound this area is for Bigfoot sightings. I didn't even know this till recently, where I saw this one. There was like 10 other sightings right around me, and this was, I forgot, I left this part out. I should have told this part too. This was actually right in front of one of our bridges on track. uh the creek that runs through there is Easley Creek, and about an hour's drive from where I was at, there's another creek called Nichols Creek, and they're having crazy sightings down there that are real similar to what happened to me, and it's actually
and
by the
where
railroad tracks.
where are you getting these reports from?
We went to a Bigfoot conference here recently, and I
Oh
talked to
yeah,
one of the
so you
guys
got
that,
He's
yeah,
got the bug.
you got the
I
bug.
got the bug, man.
Oh yeah,
It's
He
more trying
jumped
to,
in that
at
rabbit
first it
hole.
was trying to figure out what was going on. Like, I mean, am I just crazy or what's up with this? But now, yeah, I got the bug.
yeah.
It's different now.
So you
There
got
could be a
so
lot worse things to be involved in.
Yeah.
man, that's crazy. So what? How many people you reckon did you talk to from uh that conference or whatever from that area? You
Really,
talked to any of them personally?
I talked to one, uh, and he's kind of more well known in this regional area. Uh, we got to meet. Forgive me for messing his name up because I'm new to this, but he's the one that had the sounds back in the Sierra, uh,
Oh,
or
Ron
Ron
Moorhead.
Moorhead.
yeah, he was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but Chester Moore was right behind him on another table. That was the guy I got to meet. He's a pretty cool cat. He has a different theory on it that I don't just doesn't explain my situation, but everybody's
Whoa,
got.
what's your theory? What do you after
Well,
seeing what
I'm
you've
just gonna
seen
say
and
right
looking
there.
into it?
You asked, so I'm a biblical man. I believe in Jesus. I got saved when I was 35. Uh, Before that, my wife can attest to it. I was a hellcat, full of sin,
Yeah.
and I got real interested in some things in the Bible, scriptures that I read that just kind of are different from what I was taught when I was young. And one of them being Genesis chapter 6, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. Like, I'm not gonna say it's a fallen angel of some sorts or a creation of the fallen angels. But there's something to it as far as that for me. I mean, I don't think something like that, like for me, I can't see something like that and write it off as like my imagination. I know what I saw, I know what happened, and God's in control of everything. So even with something like that, now maybe I might not be able to totally explain it, but from everything that from that happening to me and then everything I read, man, it just well, I'll say this: there was a y'all ever heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh?
Hmm.
So the wild man in that Enkidu, he kind of his character kind of reminds me of what we describe of a wild man or a Bigfoot, and then so I kind of am in that area with it, and I've got Native American blood in me, and there's a lot of ever since this happened, I've been finding out there's a lot of descendants that have these stories of dealing with these people that lived in the caves that were wild men that were described kind of like what I saw, you know. So I mean, I can't say that I'm going to put it on it's this or it's that, but my journey in it is that I don't think it's a. I'm not saying there ain't probably something out there that we ain't discovered that could be a primate, but man, hey, there's some people out there that swear this thing has some supernatural thing to it, you know. And mine, I wouldn't say was like completely supernatural, but I will say the feeling, the fear that I felt. This wasn't a fear that came from within. This was a fear. It almost felt like matter. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was the fear didn't come from within me. It was around me. That's the only way I know how to explain it. And the silence was just overwhelmingly eerie. I wished I had words to explain this, and it's those things that made me feel like there was something spiritual to this. I don't know how to explain it yet. Don't know if I ever will be able to, but I know that all things work together for the good, those that love Him and are called according to His purpose. I do know that. So I don't know. I hope that answers the question. I just don't. It's just hard
Man,
you know.
I just did a whole documentary on that
Really.
about how there's definitely weird things that go on. We talk about it. It comes up almost every podcast that
Yeah.
there are people who have definitely have a view um, that line up with yours. Me, I try to base everything on evidence,
Yeah.
so I could see it going either way, and I am more than willing to report whatever happens. I wouldn't be shocked, necessarily if I did find out that they are Nephilim or whatever else. I wouldn't be totally shocked. But
Yeah.
so far, I have not seen that in the evidence that I've collected in my experiences.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean other people haven't,
Right.
So, but the one of the things I found interesting about when you and I were talking before is that you felt like you were being watched, and then you already had the smell, and then you heard a little bit of something
Yeah.
too, didn't you?
I did. Man, sorry. Yes. So right during that time when I was walking back to the truck, right after I noticed the smell and that feeling, um, I heard something that sounded like a limb breaking and falling out of a tree, or like something just breaking across a tree. Uh, it was a loud crack, is what it was. It was extremely loud, actually. And then I heard something. It didn't last real long, but I could hear almost like footsteps right after it happened because when that limb broke, I started picking my pace up real fast. I was like, man, I got to get to the truck. And in the back of my mind, I thought maybe a deer, maybe a hog, something. But still, I wanted to pick my pace up, especially if it was a hog. I mean, man, hogs are
Mhm.
dangerous. And
Right.
but again, once I got to the truck, and then he walked out or she walked out, I knew exactly what it was I heard. But yeah, that was that
It seemed
crashing.
intentional, is where I was going with it.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
talked about before, it seemed
yeah,
like you didn't surprise this thing. I mean, you're out there using a chainsaw,
yeah,
and it's almost like it made a decision, and that's it seems to be
yeah.
very
That's
common. In fact, I think a lot of
yeah,
these sightings are intentional.
yeah. After you brought that up, I agree because like I didn't even think about that till you said it, and that's I'm out there running a chainsaw. You think if it wasn't intentional, it would have the chainsaw would have scared it off. But
Right.
man, yeah, that's
Yeah, I think it's intentional because I don't think they're worried about us. I really don't. And I think it was heading somewhere and it made that conscious decision that I'm crossing that track if he sees me or not. I really don't care.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna let him have it. So,
I don't think they fear us. Yeah, you you and me both. You can let him have that whole track. Especially that big. So
yeah.
you went
How
into
many?
this topic. Go ahead, Richard.
No, go ahead. Ask your question. Mine can wait. It's a simple question.
I don't even know where I was. It wasn't that important. Go ahead, man.
No, you're going to ask him about. It sounded like you're going to ask him prior to that. Where was he at as far as?
Yeah, but he kind of already answered that, so I wasn't. Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh no, you there, Lee?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because you're not on the screen right now.
Uh oh.
You went black.
Uh, you went black.
What about now?
Nope.
No,
Dang, that's weird. Must my luck.
we can still we can still hear you. So
Okay.
that's good,
That's
at least.
weird, but it shows my camera's on. I don't know what happened.
Hit your at the bottom. Hit that camera that gives you your and yeah there. And now click off of it. See if it brings you back. No, it's like something's blocking your camera. It's like the whole screen's black.
Hang on.
Maybe it flipped.
Yeah, it looked like the camera fell or something. And then, oh, there you are.
There it is.
Well,
Nope.
now you go. There
Nope.
you
How about
go.
now? Okay.
There you go.
So how many total from the moment it came into view to it went out of view? How many steps did it take to get across the tracks and get back into another area?
Man, if I had to guess, I'd say 7 or 8. It wasn't very many. The stride on that thing was amazingly wide. Uh,
Now, what I know about railroad tracks is a lot of times the tracks is raised. You know what I mean? It's not ground level. Was this ground level or was it raised up?
no, it was slightly the embankment there was slightly sloped. Just for the reason being, we have it sloped running to that creek where I was at, so that the track can drain right there. Because
Right.
there's a bridge with an approachment, and we like to go. Shoot, man, we'll go up to 100, 200 yards from an approachment on a bridge, so the water can flow real good. Right in
Yep.
there, we always keep it pretty sloped.
Yeah, because I was, because I tried to picture it in my mind, and
Can
for
y'all still
some
hear me?
reason that, well, we can hear you perfect. We just can't
Yeah,
see
we
you.
can hear you. You just can't see,
But so I was wondering when it was walking, did it have to step up any and then step down on the other side? And because a lot of people, talk about how graceful they are and how with their movement is, not strenuous. You know what I mean? Like if us going up a slight incline or something like that, we'll lean forward, we'll push off a little bit harder with our legs or whatever. And it seems like these things don't have those issues. You know, they're probably at a larger angle, but at what we would consider, you know, a challenge, they don't. So that's why I was asking. I don't know what's going on. He was fine there for a while.
Hey, Lee, can you hear me? Lee, if you can hear me,
Can
just
y'all hear
go
me?
ahead and log. Yeah, I can hear you. If you want to, if you can hear me, go ahead and just log out altogether and then come back through the link.
If y'all can hear me, let me log out and log right back on because I can't hear nothing.
All right.
All right, man. Well, hey, at least you made it through the the good part of the story.
Yeah, he'll be back in a minute. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting because some of the questions I want to get into is, um, you know, an estimate of how much did he think it weighed? Because he said it wasn't as big as he's heard, but it was still muscular, it was still broad. But there it is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're
Never
doing
mess
great,
with me this evening, man.
dude.
You fixed it, whatever it was.
Every time we get into Bigfoot stuff, the three-letter entities I think interfere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine being the CIA dude that got assigned to
Oh man.
watching us?
He's like, dang
He's
man.
like, God, they hate me.
Oh,
They hate me. I'm never gonna get that promotion.
man.
It's like
Ah,
being sent to It's like being sent to Alaska in the Coast Guard.
right. Uh, that's
So,
funny.
so one of my other questions is, you were talking about the size. By your description, can you give an estimate of how much you think that thing weighed?
I'm not real good at judging that, but I would probably say at least 400 pounds.
Okay. Because I asked because a lot of times, especially like the Patterson Gimlin film. I'm pretty sure you've seen that film.
Yeah.
And so as science has gotten better and we're able to analyze things better, now they estimate Patty to be somewhere between 6'3" and 6'6" and about 500 pounds. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the Patterson Gimlin film and you're saying yours was probably 7 foot, 8 foot, but it was thinner, you know, trying to get an idea of how much you think it weighs and stuff like that. Because at that height, um, if it's close to 8 feet tall, it's probably a male. It's probably an alpha male. With its color, it's a senior. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an older male. So, which at in older age, maybe they start to lose weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't think
Just
about
like
that.
we do as we get older.
He
So,
wasn't. He wasn't. I know what you mean by far as older, and that makes sense. He wasn't decrepit in any way or like malnourished. He just didn't have the physique that I had in mind when you hear about Bigfoot. Um,
right,
but he wasn't extremely thin either. But I mean, it's.
right.
But yeah. I mean, at least it could have been more than that, but it wouldn't be under
Well,
400.
the descriptions vary so much because I'll talk to somebody and they'll say it was built like a linebacker. It was like built by just a big, broad linebacker. But then I'll talk to somebody and they'll say the one they saw was strong, but it was lanky like a basketball player. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a broad spectrum. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
makes sense. Yeah,
But that was my key thing is I always try to get as much of a description as I can because I jot this stuff down and part of my research to kind of get a broader description of these things because we've heard all different things: blue eyes and brown hair and red hair and gray hair and white. We've had some people say they've seen white ones, so it's all
oh
over the
wow.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you say that you are moving? Uh, that promotion is probably going to take you to Alabama.
Yes.
Now that's another hotbed too. So you won't be, but East Texas, man, I would love to do some research out there. And another thing I've heard out of East Texas, which I'm sure a lot of people that keep up with this topic have heard also, that they're a lot more aggressive out there. Have you heard that from people you've talked to?
I have actually heard that. There was two people that I can actually tell you one that was told by me firsthand account. This was actually a deputy. Um, he is a sheriff's deputy with Pinota County up here. They had
Man, we'd love
calls.
to have him on.
Yeah, I'll actually talk to him and see. He'd probably love to do it. They had a call. I won't tell his whole story, but there was a lady, a call he answered. They thought it was a burglar, and this thing was pretty aggressive to her house, and they had it in reports. So it was wild.
Was this a multiple evening thing or just a one
No,
time deal?
this was a one time thing that happened, but the fact that a sheriff's deputy did a report on it, it was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Oh, dude, I'd love to see that report. I wonder how he filed it. If he filed it under exactly what they.
I don't know. I need to ask him because he's actually right down the road from me. I need to ask him and see. He's retired now, but I'll definitely talk to him. He
Yeah, you
Yeah,
would
could
just
probably come on here. So
let him
oh,
know and
that would
tell
be
him
cool.
too.
okay,
We don't. He doesn't have to give his name, and he doesn't necessarily
okay,
have to be on camera if he doesn't want to do that either. We would just love
okay.
to hear the story, especially
Yeah,
from law enforcement.
yeah,
That's great. And actually, when we started this podcast, the whole idea is we were going to try to get people to sign affidavits and like try to make it official and
yeah.
collect a bunch of them and all that. But turns out people don't like homework, so we kind of just dropped it. you know, People don't like sending emails and signing things, so we just moved on. But to have
That
official
was a cold
documentation.
drink of water, man. Oh yeah,
You could also probably go to that sheriff's department and submit a FOIA request, Freedom of
okay,
Information, and
okay.
get the report itself. You know what I mean? And that'd be awesome if you could do that and email us a
Or
copy of it. We'd
he
love to have it.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to do our homework for if you could hook us up with the sheriff and we can talk to him, we'll definitely do that or anybody and that goes for anybody who's listening in general.
Okay.
So that's awesome, man. So what are you thinking you're about to do some? Sounds like you're kind of thinking about going out in the woods looking for these things.
Man,
Usually when you start going to conferences, you start the next step is buying
I
equipment.
have some ideas, and my wife would slap me upside the head if I shared it. But yes, I'm
But she's in the chat room, just so you know. So
yeah, I know. I've got my my nerves up about me now that I definitely there's quite a couple of spots actually. I don't know if y'all took a trip out here, man. There's a couple of spots that I'm wanting to go to that um definitely worth looking into.
If you got some, I would love to take a road trip out there.
Because I know where I was at Pineland, from there all the way down to Jasper, man. All you gotta do is walk. There,
Yeah.
there's a guy that Angie had sent me. I reached out to him. There's a guy that reached out to her when she shared my story. That's from that area down there, and man, he has got some stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking about hitting it. I would love to do it here before I move. You know,
How
so
long before you move?
it'll be next year.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be like February, something like that, because I got to get trained up and I have to do an actual flight class. I have to show the skills, and then after that, they'll move me in a position, which is in February. So
one of the
Well,
things I recommend is go to the Bigfoot mapping project as well. It's kind of like
okay,
Google Earth for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
and go to that area and zoom in, and it'll show you all the reported sites that they've reported on Bigfoot Mapping Project,
Yeah.
and you might be surprised how many are there. And you can
Man,
read
over
their
here, all
report
you got to
too.
do apparently is just walk in the woods. That's all you got to do.
I wish it,
So
I
what?
wish I had it that easy.
What?
Uh,
What? So what's the deal with the guy that you're talking about? He's got crazy stuff going on. Is it on his property?
You talking about the no, this guy down here, he has a lot of stuff that happened when he worked for this. I think it was a gas company. Angie could tell me more about that, but I think it's a gas company. And back in the 80s, and then he had a whole bunch of sightings, and then he told me in the late, somewhere around 2010ish to around 2015, there was some activity had started picking up again. And this is the spot where he's at seeing all this. Now that spot is only about 20 minutes from the spot where my encounter happened. So
Is there any public land in that vicinity,
yes,
like wildlife management
there's
areas or anything like
actually
that?
The Sabine National Forest is actually right there.
oh
Well,
wow.
it sounds like we need to take a trip to
Matter
Texas.
of fact, I'm gonna make one even better for you. The Sabine National Forest is on the right side of the main highway, and on the left side is the Sam Rayburn Reservoir, which is one of the biggest reservoirs in Texas.
Hmm.
So, and there's a place down there called Boykin Reserve. I want to take my wife down there because it's pretty down there to look at, but there's some activity down in that part of it too. And that spot is about, as the crow flies, probably about 15 minutes from where my encounter happened. I mean, it's a hot spot down there. I didn't know that till after the fact, but
Right. So how long after your sighting did you start talking to Angie about everything?
oh shoot, I just talked to Angie. The only people I've really talked to is like my wife. Of course, I called her right after that, and I was freaked out. And then, I mean, other than my kids or something like, I ain't shared it with nobody. So
Yeah.
not until all of this. So
Well, it's like we always talk about, and it comes up a lot on here. One of the guys that was pretty much responsible, Happy Harris, was responsible for coming forward. That ended up leading to three of us having two Class A sightings, and then having, I think, four other people come forward from his county, and there were no reports from that county to begin with. And then you got one person come forward, and then now that gives other people kind of like gives permission. And you never know who you're gonna, never know what, how your story is going to affect other people, and it
yeah,
may very well bring other people forward. And that's the whole purpose of doing this, and to connect with other people and get these locations in different areas and finding out that, yeah, not only is East Texas a hotbed, now you've got this one specific area that's a real hotbed,
hmm
and
yeah,
that's excellent information. Cool stuff, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Lee.
yeah. Thank y'all for having me, man. I enjoyed it. So
Well,
Yeah, just
I put the question in the chat room, so if anybody's got any questions, I told them to go ahead and start asking now, so that way, we have Lee and he can answer anything if they got something to throw out there. Um, Go ahead, Johnny. Jump into what while Lee's here, and go into what you were um, experiencing lately.
yeah. Um, so I've been having activity off and on for a little over a month, which is it's the same way every year. Usually around September it starts. And I had already bought, uh, now I've got a four camera setup. I had a backpack with two cameras facing each side, one on the front and one on the back. Well, as this was happening, I would go down to the sitting spot and I would not have any activity. So I kept going down there, and I knew they were around, but they would not interact down there. So I swapped everything up and took it off that pack and put it on a fanny pack. Well, I can't remember the exact dates. It's been this past week. It's like the 13th, 14th, and 15th. 3 nights in a row, I had activity. And on one of those nights, I've got one of the throws that's recorded. It comes right in front of me, whatever the object is. Super obvious, right? But one of the throws that I recorded, it has an 8-second flight time, and it hits, uh, I think, 4 different branches on the way in,
Yeah.
and then goes through the leaves, right? So I put it in Chat GPT, and I explain everything. Like, how do I prove that this isn't just something falling out of a tree, right? Just based on the audio. And I put in that it's an 8-second flight time from the time it hits the first object until it hits the ground very close to me. And I added that it also hits like 3 or 4 branches on the way in, and you probably have to guess it hit leaves. So based on that, how high would a tree have to be in order to have an 8-second flight time? If it just fell out of a tree and hit the ground, how tall would that tree have to be? And ChatGPT said that tree would have to be 700 feet tall.
Jesus.
I don't have I don't have any trees here in West Georgia that are 700 feet tall. At the lowest, I can't remember what the lowest end was, but it's basically and it's I didn't even notice this. Like, I didn't realize when it left. I'm talking and walking, and then I hear it come in, and then I hear it hit. Well, I didn't realize when the actual first impact or launch was, and that's an 8-second flight time. Now, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way I can figure out distance, because there's no way to know. You can only judge from the first impact to the last, but I don't know how far away it was when it threw the first thing and it hit the first thing. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. That uh, that's a throw. That's a very, very long throw.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you think about it, Johnny, these people that skydive off cliffs and stuff, and they're only probably anywhere from 700 to 1,000 feet, and it's a quick drop. It don't take
Yeah,
long. You know what I mean? So that's pretty impressive.
yeah. I thought that was pretty neat to have something, hear it flying through the air and hitting stuff for 8 seconds. Most Bigfoot sightings don't last 8 seconds. But anyway, Lee's Lee looks like you're having technical difficulties again.
Oh God, hold on.
It's all good. We're about to wrap things up. Did we have any more questions?
Well, Angie had a question. He's back. Let me put it back up there. Can you see the question, Lee?
Ashley, does he? It's kind of small. I can't see it.
It says, ask Lee, does he know of all the local reports because of the one researcher he talked to at the conference? And what did the researcher think of his sighting when you told him? Lost him. So I only had one more thing to add is so we have a show next week. He had to postpone a week. He's dealing with some personal issues. I did message the guy today. I'm waiting for a response. Um, but he's in Australia, so communication back and forth can be a little bit difficult. And so I sent a message to him, make sure the show's good. So he's supposed to be on next Friday. So hopefully that works out. It'd be awesome to talk to somebody about the Yowie and what the comparisons and what they're experiencing there and what we experience here in the States. So I'm really excited about that show. Um,
Right.
and then the other thing was so the after that we're going to have another week off unless you want to do a show, but I'll be heading to Ohio So I'll be flying out on October 2nd and coming back October 5th. I will be up in Salt Fork National Park up in Ohio. So I get an opportunity to check out a hot spot in Ohio and meet a lot of people. I'll be a guest speaker there on Friday night. So if there's anybody in the chat room or any watches the show that lives in Ohio and they're not far from Salt Fork, I think it's $5 just to come out for the day. So if anybody wants to come out that Friday evening, I think it starts. I guess if they come out around noon, because I don't know what we have three guest speakers that day. Brian Barber is going to be the first speaker. Dirt Road Bigfoot is going to be the second speaker, and then I'll come on later. So if anybody wants to come and enjoy that and take an opportunity to enjoy good Bigfoot fellowship, it would be a good time, and hopefully get some time to do some research while I'm there. I would say Thursday's not a good day to go because we're just setting up, and I'm a lot of travel time, flying and stuff. And then
Right.
Sunday, we're leaving very, very early morning Sunday to get me back to the airport so I can get back to Florida. So Friday or Saturday are probably the two best days if they want to come out and meet us and hang out and stuff like that.
Well, cool, man. It sounds like a good trip.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, right now I do need a break. I need a little vacation and get out. It's an opportunity to go someplace that I haven't been, and I've never researched in the northern states, so I'm kind of interested in that. So should be a good time.
Cool, man. Good to go. Well, Lee, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. Well, we just want to officially tell you bye and thanks again for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you
And
for having
definitely keep in touch because I'd love to. I'm serious, man. I
me.
would love to take a trip out to East Texas. We can get some folks together and find a good spot. Why not? You only live once.
That's it. Make the best of it.
That's right.
If you can talk your wife into it, that is, I guess.
No,
Sounds like she may have some objections.
When you move to Alabama, maybe we can hook you up with a guy that's down there. He has a lot of stuff going on in his property, kind of like what Johnny runs into. A guy named Flat Rock, and he lives down there in Alabama. But I think he's closer to Florida. But maybe we can hook you guys up.
Oh
heck
yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, good to go, fellas. I enjoyed it. Thanks again, Richard. Thank you, sir, for everything. Hope you
Hey,
have a
no
good
problem,
trip.
man.
And Lee,
I'm looking forward to it.
we'll catch you later. And again, keep in touch. Would love to talk to
All
the
right.
sheriff.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, you
God
too, bud.
bless you, and God bless your family, and you too, Johnny. And take care of that baby bear.
Oh yeah, yeah, we definitely are keeping us on our toes.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
everybody.
Take care.
I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Thanks for showing up, and it's good seeing you guys. Great chat room. You guys are awesome. We'll be seeing you soon. Again, like I said, we hopefully have a show next week from a guy in Australia, and then I've got to prepare for this trip to head up to Ohio. Um, so everybody have a great weekend. God bless, and we'll be talking to you soon.